Hello, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I want to talk about the comparisons between Cècred and Fenty and the public's opinion and reactions to it. However, these comparisons have started long before these two women got into hair care. Starting off with Beyoncé Knowles, she first gained prominence as the lead vocalist of Destiny's Child, which is one of the best-selling groups of all times. They dominated the 1990s with songs such as Say My Name, Survivor, and Bootylicious. Beyoncé was a standout performer with her powerful voice, commanding stage presence, and her dance skills. In 2003, Beyoncé went solo with her highly anticipated and chart-topping album, Dangerously in Love. She had hits such as Crazy in Love featuring Jay-Z, who is her now husband, and Baby Boy. She earned multiple Grammy Awards, which has solidified her as one of the greatest performers of our time. Rihanna, whose real name is Robin Rihanna Fenty, just in case you were wondering where the Fenty Beauty and Fenty Hair come from, she entered the music scene in 2005 with her debut single Pawn the Replay. It was from the album Music of the Sun, and the song gained international attention. It was a huge hit because of her combinations of Caribbean influences, reggae, and pop. But it wasn't until her 2007 album Good Girl Gone Bad, with hits like Umbrella featuring Jay-Z, Don't Stop the Music, and Disturbia, where Rihanna was able to transition from a Caribbean pop sensation to a global icon. I would say that it was around this time that people started to really compare Beyoncé and Rihanna because they were two black women in the pop R&B space, and despite very different variations of their albums and having different aesthetics and flares, people still compare them and their careers. Now, moving away from their comparisons in terms of their musical careers, I want to segue into their personal aesthetics and how that relates to their businesses and how they are perceived. Now, with Beyoncé, she has a very sophisticated and polished and almost luxurious personality. She doesn't really talk much, and she makes sure that how people perceive her is very much controlled. When you see the way that she posts and the kinds of things that she does post on social media, it's not very often. And she tries to stick to communicating with her fans and the general public through her music and performances. And so with her businesses, when she comes out with a brand such as Ivy Park, even though Adidas is a sportswear brand, she tried to make it a sort of luxury, posh athleisure brand. And again, her aesthetic is meant to signal exclusivity and premium quality. Overall, I would say Beyoncé has a mysterious presence and people see her in a godlike figure. On the other hand, Rihanna's personality and aesthetic is more edgy and bold. Think Bad Girl Riri. She doesn't really care what you think about her, and she's assertive in her personality. And it's not just about her personality and how she communicates with fans and the general public and the media, but her fashion, the way she does her makeup and her hair is always something that you can expect to be bold. She also has this very candid, friendly, authentic personality when she's on social media, when she's tweeting, and even when she's on the red carpet. It always feels like you're talking to a friend. And I think the difference in their personalities has an impact on the kind of businesses that they do and the supposed success that they get. So in my opinion, because Beyoncé has this high-end, almost luxury feel to her personality and aesthetic, when she puts out products, I think the consumer base doesn't really feel that they can approach the business, almost like they feel they can't approach Beyoncé. Whereas with Rihanna, who feels like a friend and she feels very authentic and someone who could honestly be your friend or cousin or whatever, it makes people feel like they can approach her products, thereby buying them. Of course, this doesn't mean that these women or their businesses are held in a pigeonhole. They haven't always found success in businesses, and they've also found success in different businesses. I also want to say that in regards to business or someone being the CEO or investing or being sponsored by huge conglomerates, business is not easy. Multi-million and multi-billion dollar businesses have low moments. Sometimes they're not able to meet their sales quota, other times they close down. For example, Victoria Beckham launched her fashion line Victoria Beckham in 2008, and despite her being a former Spice Girl and being pretty popular in terms of public recognition, it took her a long time to gain popularity in the brand and respect in the fashion industry. A lot of critics were skeptical about her commitment to creating quality clothes, and it took her a long time to get the public interested in her clothing. But by 2011, she won a Fashion Designer Brand of the Year award at the British Fashion Awards. And I think this was a turnover in her career because the brand started to grow. They opened up a store in London in 2014, and in 2018, they celebrated the 10-year anniversary. And even though the business faced many ups and downs, today, people see Victoria Beckham's fashion line as a cutting-edge brand of luxury and elegance. And so if you look at her brand and you started judging it in 2008 when it first launched, or in 2011 or 2014 when it was still trying to get off its feet, you would probably say that the brand is a flop. So now that we've established that comparing Beyoncé and Rihanna is almost silly because they are two different artists, they make two different types of music even though they're in the same genre, and they also have two different aesthetics. And we have also established that being successful in business is really hard. Let's address the very popular sentiment that Rihanna is just more successful in business and there must be something wrong with Beyoncé because she's failed in some of her business endeavors, like Ivy Park. Well, Rihanna has also had her fair share of failures. For example, her most notable one is the closing of the Fenty fashion house, which was a collaboration with LVMH, the parent company of Fenty Beauty and her other Fenty brands. It launched in 2019, but it closed in 2021 after there was a decrease in sales. She also had a failed fashion line all the way in 2013 with River Island. The reviews were very mixed, nothing too positive, and it didn't achieve long-term success. And even though Savage X Fenty is still popular on social media, they have been sued and had to pay a settlement for breaching a consumer protection lawsuit in which they will have to pay $1 million in penalties. And although this is not the closing of the brand or doesn't mean that this is the end of the brand, the reviews for Savage X Fenty have also been quite mixed. At first, people really celebrated them for diversity and inclusivity, but after a while, people began to question the high prices, where the garments were being produced, and whether it was sustainable, as well as the predatory practices when customers sign up on their website and have their cards charged, even when they don't make purchases every month. And then we have Beyoncé, who many people regard as being less successful in business as compared to Rihanna. And she actually had success with her perfume line. When she launched Heat in 2010, it was a collaboration with Macy's, and within just 1 month, the Macy's CEO reported that the chain sold $3 million worth of the fragrance. She's also had other fragrances, Pulse and Rise, which have found success with the general public. But because her brands and businesses like Ivy Park and House of Darion had declining sales and are no longer in existence, that negative perception has been attached to Beyoncé, especially when you compare her to Rihanna and the massive success of Fenty Beauty. But now, let's talk about why Rihanna succeeded in Fenty Beauty, because we need to really understand the impact of Fenty Beauty and how that changed the game not only for Rihanna and her future business endeavors, but quite frankly, the entire makeup/beauty game. Launched in 2017, Fenty Beauty revolutionized the beauty industry by offering a diverse range of foundation shades that catered to diverse skin tones. This inclusivity and diversity set a new standard in the beauty market. It garnered widespread acclaim and quickly became a cultural phenomenon, being praised by fans of Rihanna and the general public. The brand was able to grow with consistent high-quality releases, and they also used Rihanna's public image and high social capital to attract consumers to purchase the brand. Fenty Beauty's innovative approach not only disrupted the industry, but solidified its reputation as a leader in diversity and consumer-centric beauty practices. This allowed them to achieve remarkable success in a market that was dominated by established competitors. Now, in regards to Fenty Hair, and without comparing it to Cècred, I do think it's easier for Fenty Hair to find success, or at least I feel that customers and the general public would more likely try Fenty Hair because Fenty Beauty has become established. People know that it's good quality. So if they see something with Fenty on it, they're more likely to try. Also, because Fenty Beauty has so many partnerships with huge conglomerates like Ulta, Sephora, and they are existing in many different countries and many different states and cities, it's very easy for consumers to get that one-on-one experience with trying Fenty Hair. And with Cècred, they have won a lot of awards and the reviews seem to be very positive, especially coming from licensed cosmetologists. And you can see with their branding that although they care about the average consumer buying their products and using it at home, I think that they're also trying to target hair salons and hairstylists to make Cècred the #1 choice for salons. And maybe in the future, Cècred will be in physical brick and mortar shops, but because it's hair care, you do have to give the product time for people to get used to it and like it. So again, I think time will tell. Now moving on, I want to talk about the rollout, the initial drop, and the ways in which Fenty Hair and Cècred use the media to garner attention. So starting off with Cècred because it launched first, they did a spread in Essence magazine with Beyoncé, her mom Tina Knowles, and her daughter Blue Ivy. And this was many people's first introduction to the brand. And they used the magazine to explain the idea behind the brand, why it's different, and other important facts that you should know if you wanted to use Cècred. Next, they were posting on their social medias, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, with again, general information about the brand, why it's unique, and why you should use it. There was also the launch party where they invited different celebrities and influencers to come and celebrate. Beyoncé again was present with her mom and daughter, and it was more of an intimate affair. She wasn't really being interviewed about the products. It was just supposed to be an intimate affair with Cècred and of course the founder Beyoncé. And then with the hair routine that went viral, Beyoncé posted on the official Cècred account her wash day routine. This garnered a lot of attention because there was a lot of debate on Beyoncé's hair, whether it was healthy, and whether she even uses her own Cècred products. Now, in my own personal opinion, I found it really difficult to find any videos of Beyoncé herself really talking about her product, really trying to sell it. And although I think this fits in perfectly with her aesthetic and her brand, as we discussed earlier in the video, the overall rollout seemed a little lackluster, but it's especially lackluster when you compare it to Fenty Hair. Now moving on to the rollout of Fenty Hair, they really use social media to market themselves, especially on TikTok and YouTube. On TikTok, it was Rihanna being the face as usual, talking about the brand, why she decided to come out with it, the technology of this new launch. And then on YouTube, she has videos sitting with her stylist where they talk about previous hairstyles and they tie in her previous hair history to her new hair brand. She also did a huge launch party where she invited a lot of influencers and celebrities. And just like with Fenty Beauty and Fenty Skin, this is Rihanna standing with her fans, taking pictures, talking to people, hugging people, just really building that connection. And another thing I noticed is she had a lot of interviews. She almost had this red carpet for Fenty Hair, and she had news outlets like Refinery 21 interviewing her and asking her questions not only about her hair care tips, but also her music. And everybody knows that when you ask Rihanna about her music, it gets everything trending. So this is a perfect way to get people interested in the brand if they weren't already. But my personal favorite, which a lot of people are speculating, but of course we can't confirm, Rihanna cut her hair, and she did an interview where she spoke about how because of postpartum she had to cut a lot of her hair just to start over. So a lot of people are having this theory that Rihanna is going to start growing her hair and sharing her journey with her Fenty Hair products, basically taking the general public and possible customers along the journey of her hair growth. And if that is true, I think that is absolutely A1 marketing. And what a great way to market your own products. And again, Rihanna is one of the biggest celebrities in the entire world. So this will be excellent promotion for the brand. But if you've learned anything from this video, even being a world famous celebrity and having an amazing marketing strategy is not always a guarantee that your business will sell out or your products will become a staple in people's homes. In regards to the comparisons between Beyoncé and Rihanna and now their business brands, I don't think it's going to stop anytime soon. In fact, if Beyoncé begins to expand Cècred and goes into beauty and lifestyle similar to Rihanna and Fenty, the comparisons will only grow. In a perfect world, we wouldn't compare them as women and musicians, and we definitely wouldn't compare their hair care brands. But unfortunately, it is an imperfect world, even on Beyonce's internet. And with that being said, this does bring me to the end of my video. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section. Like this video, subscribe. I'm trying to get to 200 subscribers and I'm almost there, so please subscribe if you can. Again, thank you so much for watching, and hopefully I'll catch you in my next video.